Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. Lucy and the Lie with Diamonds. On Friday, June 21st, 2024, the Independent newspaper published an article about the missing Jay Slater and breaks down Lucy's account. The article states, the 19-year-old was last heard from on Monday morning when he phoned his friend Lucy Law at 8:15 a.m. to say that he was lost, dehydrated, and had 1%. It then goes on to tell us that his phone's last location was recorded at 8:50 a.m. in the rural Teno National Park, a mountainous area popular with hikers. In his last Snapchat post at 7:30 a.m., Mr. Slater tagged Park Rural de Teno Buena Vista del Norte, an area to the north of the island known for its rugged and sparse terrain. And that, he told her he had cut his leg on a desert plant, was unsure of his location, and had barely any phone battery to use a Maps app to make his way back. If I take you back to Lucy's very first post, she tells the public that he had called her at 8:30 a.m. and that he had been walking for half an hour. 30 minutes. Obviously, there must be an error or several within these statements. He couldn't have called at both 8:15 and 8:30. If it was actually 8:15 and he had been walking for 30 minutes, then he could not have left at 8 a.m. as we were previously told. That would put the time he left at 7:45, missing the interaction with Ophelia. If we assume he did leave at 8 and walk for 30 minutes, calling Lucy at 8:30 with a phone battery of 1%, which ran out whilst talking to her, then how did his phone give his last known location at 8:50? If his phone died during a call at 8:30, why was his last location logged at 8:50, 20 minutes after his phone died? It seems that Lucy has a problem keeping to the script, and if she was my co-defendant, I would be very worried she would bring too much heat. Her self-preservation instinct kicks in every time she opens her mouth, and as a result, her account changes, contradicting herself and her fellow game players. One of these contradictions that jumps out like a hungry leopard is again from the Independent newspaper. Lucy tells us that she managed to locate the BNB by using elite detective skills to scrutinize Jay's Snapchat picture from 7:30 a.m. She claims she identified the property and knocked on the door to Ayab's surprise. Now, full disclosure. I have never used Snapchat, but is this the app where the images disappear as soon as you have looked at them? If so, wouldn't the picture of the location have disappeared after she first viewed it? She could screenshot the image, I guess, but would you really screenshot a picture unless you thought you needed it? Or you had advance notice or plans to screenshot the picture as part of the elaboration? I'll await your thought on this screenshotting Snapchat pictures just at the right moment to preserve evidence. I use the term evidence very loosely. But the contradiction here is the conflicting account given by Ayab. Lucy tells us she found the BNB and a surprised Ayab, but Ayab tells the world that he received a phone call telling him that Jay was in a ditch and had been cut by a prickly desert. We are only led to believe that Jay spoke to two people, Lucy and Brad, who we will get on to soon. So the question is, was it Lucy or Brad who called Ayab? Or is this Ayab playing hot potato and throwing it back on their toes? If it was Lucy who called Ayab, it would make sense, as she spoke of desert plants, but she didn't tell the public or the police that Jay was in a ditch. Or I'm sure there would have been an immediate response. But Lucy couldn't tell the police that he was in a ditch, as they still needed time to cover up the mess. As I have said before, social media and social engineering was heavily involved in getting away with this case. What you have to understand is this is 2024 and the age of technology. These youngsters live through social media and have grown up using it like a front garden. They are familiar with it, probably more so than they are familiar with truth and reality. They have grown up on bullshitter influencers who have taught them to lie, cheat, and blag their way through life, often with no consequences, and familiarity breeds complacency. What we are establishing here is that Lucy cannot be trusted to give the truth at any time. She omits, adds, and changes her account to suit the situation at the time. We can draw the conclusion that she is trying to cover up the truth and protect herself and those around her. Before we break down the other key players in this sick game, I will hope to list all the contradictions and flaws in the stories and timelines. Hopefully, by the time we address the key players, you will already have realized some of the motivation and reasons behind people's sketchy behavior in this awful mess. Please like and subscribe, but just make sure you call back for the breakdowns, as it will get quite interesting and complicated very quickly. Take care, be safe, and make sure you know who your friends are